Hi. I look a lot better than I am in person. Honestly, I feel like I'm glowing in person, but I don't look like that on camera, so I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry because society and life has just really forced me into thinking that my natural bare face and having my hair up in a ponytail is actually really ugly when it's not. So I'm trying to get over that. Thank you. This is probably going to go in a vlog because I don't think I want to make a separate video about it. I don't even know if I want to put it in a vlog actually now that I'm thinking about it, because it's very personal and intrusive that I don't know if I want to share with the public. But I am going to talk about it anyway because I'm finding myself crashing because I had coffee for the first time in a while, like a whole ass cup of coffee, not like a few sips, like gulp, 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 you know? I'm finding myself crashing and I want to take a nap, but I don't think it would be good if I did take a nap, so I just wanted to talk to the camera for a little bit and talk about something that I noticed, and that it's going to be a very obvious statement, but it's like an obvious statement that not a lot of people give too much thought to, but I've been thinking about it a lot today. And it's like, around this time last year, I really was like a whole ass different person. As of May 25th, I am a whole ass different human being and girl than the EJ from May 25th, 2018. Like, she's so different. And I had been watching some of my old videos, and I don't really talk about him in videos anymore, but I was watching a specific one that had Tor in it, and it was a year ago. It was in March. It was my Target vlog, and I didn't really think about it too much, but like, wow, I am really different. Not just on the outside, but like on the inside. Like, I feel so different in both good and bad ways. I feel like I'm different in terms of like growth. Like, I still have some of my more negative qualities, but I've definitely gained a lot of positive. I don't know if I'm making a good case for myself about the past year, but it's just strange. And I like looking at how much I've changed also on the outside too. You know, how my style and my face and my hair and like everything's different. March last year, I had short blue hair. And now I have medium length pink hair. And that's just like insane. Like, I didn't think I was gonna have blue hair forever, but I didn't think I was gonna have pink hair in the middle of May or towards the end of May. So it's crazy. And then also, like, there is a very big divide between EJ in a relationship and then EJ being single. Like, there are, I mean, obviously when you're in a relationship and you're single, you're two different people. But it's like, you know, you share some common attributes with being in a relationship and being single. And for me, it's just weird. Like, I've been single for a while now, and I talk to my friends about this. Like, I see EJ in a relationship as a whole separate person. Like, if I saw her walking down the street, like I'm walking past her, I wouldn't register that that was me. That's where I'm at in my head. Like, I feel like, and it's like I don't think about all the time that like I'm a different person, that I've changed, but it's kind of surreal because you don't recognize that you're changing when it's happening. Like, it's more so like in over time, you look back and you're like, wow, I used to be like this, and I used to do this, and I used to be like that, and I used to look like this. And it's like, it's so crazy because sometimes it can really mess with your head, because depending on how life was at the time, you'll either want to go back or you kind of want to be like, thank God I'm not there anymore. For me, it's just a lot of like comparison, not so much like comparison like, oh, I would rather have that, or I would rather have this, or I'd rather look like that, or I'd have that hair again, or I'd do that makeup again. Like, it's none of that. It's more so like, okay, so I used to be like this and now I'm this. And I didn't think that it was going to be a huge shift. And one of the biggest things that like I really just forget is that at one point in my life, for a while, I was in a relationship. Like, sometimes it's hard to register that. That's why like my videos kind of trip me out a little bit, because I'm like, who is that person? Like, I don't recognize that as me. And it's not just, it's just the being in a relationship is just an example. Like I do that all the time when I see baby pictures of me, when I'm like like a adolescent kid, when I'm a preteen, when I was a teenager, even like 2 years ago when I was 20. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, my life used to be like this, and I used to act like that, and I used to look like that, and it's just insane. Like, really though, like, we don't realize how much we change until we look back and we're like, wow, my life used to be like that. And I do that all the time. I don't dwell on it too much, but sometimes I'll see a picture, an old picture, an old video or something that of me, and I'll be like, my life used to be like that. I used to look like that. I used to be like that. Like, being in a relationship, I forget all the time that that was a part of my life. Like, sometimes you'll have days where you'll want to live in the past, or some days where you're looking so forward to the future that we forget to live in the present. And so that's what I've been trying to do for the past like few months, few weeks, for my life at the moment. I've been trying to live in the present. So like, I haven't really been looking back or looking forward. I'm just here. I'm just taking life day by day. And so when I do look back, or I do look forward to the future, I don't give it too much thought. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Like, it's not bad to look back or to look forward. It's just sometimes thinking about either or both gets really overwhelming in my head, because if I think too much, then like I'll want to go back to the past, or I'll want to be super motivated to work towards the future, or I'll get super overwhelmed about the future and trying to create a goal or a plan for my life, when I just need to focus, when I feel like I need to focus on just getting to the next day. I think everybody struggles with that. I know for a fact that like my future is solely based on just wanting a better life for myself, not having a stable plan of like, okay, by the time I'm 25, I'll be moved out, I'll have a career, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't structurally plan out what I want with my future, and to some people that scares them, and I get it. I get it a lot, you know, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. For me, the reason why I don't plan things out is because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You can say that by 25 you want to already be married and have kids, but by the time you're 25 and you don't get there, what happens? Like, you stress out, you get anxious, you're like, oh my god, what do I do? I said by 25 I would be this. And it's like, I think it would be best for everybody if we didn't put that extra burden, extra stress on ourselves, and focus on like, okay, by this time next year, hopefully I'll be moved out. But don't like put like such harsh energy into that if you know that like you're in a place in the moment where it's not going to be that way. I know that that was like one of the biggest things, because when I didn't have a job for 8 months, sometime last year, I was like, I read that by February 2019, I will have my shit together. And February rolled around, still didn't have a job, and I was severely disappointed in myself. I was disappointed in myself, disappointed in my integrity and my motivation and just everything. And totally discounting that I had been through some stuff previously, so it's not easy to just jump up and like get the ball rolling. And to some people, if they put that goal of like to get to a better place by February, they'll get there. They can get there. People can actually set a goal and get there, which is great. That's awesome. But for someone like me, we're all different, you know? Someone like me, that didn't happen. Even though I tried so hard, and like, it still broke me. And so I realized that like, I cannot put like a strict goal for myself. That's why working out wasn't very strict, because I knew I would fall out of it, and I did. I haven't worked out in over like 3 months probably. I'm trying not to live for the future, and I'm trying to accept my past. And another thing I've been trying to do is just accepting what has happened to me, and whatever has caused me pain and hurt and anger and kind of just like letting that go, because if you're sitting in anger and resentment, you're hurting yourself more than anybody else. It's not good for your sanity, for your mental health, even for your physical health, because if you're not in the right mind state, if you're not in the right headspace, you know, your appetite, your sleeping schedule, everything's going to be affected. And I think it's healthy to have a good boundary of like when to look back or when to look forward or when to make plans, but to not dwell on that shit. I think it's just good to think about your entire life as a whole, what it means to look forward into the future, what it means to look back, but to not stay in either side and to live in the present. And that's what I'm doing. And that's why when I look back, it's always such a shock, because I'm like, that was me. Hello? Like, if I met me May 2018, EJ, I'd be like, how are you? Another thing, sorry, I had to stretch. Oh, I'm so sleepy! That I find myself doing a lot, which I'm trying not to do, is when I look back and I look at myself and I know for a fact that I know I'm about to go through something really difficult or really traumatic, sometimes I want to be like, I wish time travel existed so I could go back and tell myself, hey, this isn't a good idea, or hey, you should stop doing this, or you should end this, so I could save myself that pain and that heartache. But, you know, it's like you grow and you learn from what's happened to you. And so as much as sometimes I want to go back and change the past, I can't. Most of me is like grateful for that, but there's always that small part of me that's like, I wish I could go back and not meet that person or go after this opportunity, because I know it's not going to end well. And like, if that's the case, once I do that, my whole timeline is changed, going into Avengers Endgame territory here. The whole timeline like shifts and your whole life changes for the rest of your life. Even though you won't know what's gonna happen, it's changed now. Because if you change one single thing, your whole entire life's affected. And you know what? That's true for the present right now. Making this video, I don't know how this is gonna affect my future. I don't know how, like, it's not gonna fix anything in the past. But like, of course you should think about the decisions you're making and the choices you make for yourself, but don't worry, you know? That's why, you know, I don't think too much about money and like, you know, materialistic shit, because life's short, you know? If I want to buy myself that palette, I'll do it. I don't know. I think I went into a whole nother tangent than what I was just talking about. I feel like every decision you make affects the rest of your life and that you're always changing. There's this quote that I like saying, and it's, have you become yourself or are you running away? And some people don't know how to answer that question. It's by 8-Bit Fiction. I follow them on Twitter, on Tumblr. It's their quote. And I've probably mentioned it in a video before because I feel like I've said this before. But it really trips people up, because it's like you can interpret that in many different ways. A lot of people have told me that they've become themselves or they're becoming themselves. And for me, the way I answer that question is like, I'll never like become me, because I am always changing. I'm always becoming somebody new, and although it's not like in an instant, like I'm not gonna have blue hair tomorrow, it's over time, it's gradual, you know? So that question is like, have you become yourself or are you running away? I think there's no right way to answer that question, first of all, because it's a very like, what does it mean? And you can interpret it however you want to. I just think that no one really becomes themselves, because even if you think that you are settling into your skin and that you are settling into who you are and what your life has become, there's always going to be something minute that's going to change. And it's either going to be a change that you make for yourself or life makes for you. And I feel like we don't realize that. We don't realize that like life brings things into our lives, and we don't realize that it's meant to happen, or that, you know, and we think, why us? Like, why me? You know, whenever something happens, you're like, why me? Like, something that's not a choice you made, it's like, why me? But it's like, try to think, like, this happened because this situation wasn't good for me anymore, or this happened because I need to be in a better place, or this happened because life is finally giving me what I need. And another thing is like, life will always work out for you the way you want it to. If you really think about it, life will always work out. And I just think that like, life is short, you know? People, it's so easy. It sucks because, you know, sometimes you want to do things that you really want to do, but you can't do them because of money or time or energy or people. And it sucks because, you know, it's like, you know, just do it. Like, honestly, I want to do so many things, but like you're restricted. And that's why I'm like, can we tax the rich, please? Because they have the freedom to do whatever they want and they're not doing whatever they want. They're just, you know, limiting things for other people, and it sucks. I would go more into this, but you know, now I'm getting tired. My voice is getting tired. Thanks for hearing me out. I hope I cut this down a bit. I've been recording for 20 minutes now, and I just hope that it's not super duper long. I love ranting about stuff. If you liked hearing me vent about this, please let me know, and I will vent or rant about more stuff. Please tell me. I haven't ranted in a while. I did rant about Tinder, I think, a while ago, and I haven't ranted about anything else since then. So I don't like being too riled up about it, but if there's something that I want to talk about in a confined, just equally balanced way, I will do that. So please let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, and I will try my best to talk about it. Unless it's something that I'm not very educated on, then don't tell me to talk about it. Great? Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!